The Aryabhata Institute of Science was a beacon of knowledge. It stood tall and proud. Modern architecture met ancient wisdom within its walls. Here, brilliant minds delved into the mysteries of the universe. Dr. Riya Mehta was one such mind, a star among stars. Her area of expertise was ancient Indian history. The Gupta dynasty held a special allure for her. Riya's thirst for knowledge was insatiable. She was renowned for her meticulous research, her sharp intellect. When she wasn't poring over ancient texts, she was out in the field. Her quest to unearth the secrets of the past. Her latest project was shrouded in mystery. It promised to rewrite history as they knew it. An ancient manuscript had found its way to Riya. It was a palimpsest, its secrets hidden beneath layers of time. As she carefully peeled back the layers, she felt a tremor of excitement. This was no ordinary find. The script was archaic Sanskrit, the language of the gods. It spoke of a time when myth and reality intertwined. The manuscript hinted at a dark chapter of the Gupta era. It spoke of creatures of darkness, Rakshasas, demons of unimaginable power. They were said to roam the land, bringing chaos and destruction. Riya felt a chill run down her spine. Could these creatures really have existed? The Gupta dynasty, a golden age for India, a time of peace and prosperity. Art and science flourished. Emperors ruled with wisdom and justice. But beneath this veneer of greatness, something sinister lurked. At least, that's what the manuscript seemed to suggest. Riya was both terrified and thrilled. Could this be true? Riya spent countless hours deciphering the text. The manuscript was like a puzzle box. Each piece she unlocked revealed more about the Rakshasas. They were not mere figments of imagination. They were real, creatures of darkness, born of fear and chaos. The manuscript described them in vivid detail, hideous forms, unnatural powers. The Rakshasas, it seemed, had plagued the Gupta Empire. They terrorized villages, preyed on the innocent. They were the stuff of nightmares. The manuscript spoke of their reign of terror, their insatiable hunger for human flesh. The Guptas, however, were not a people to surrender to fear. They fought back, led by brave warriors and wise sages. The sages, masters of ancient magic, devised a plan. They would trap the Rakshasas, imprison them in a secret location. The manuscript mentioned a hidden temple, deep within the forests of Madhya Pradesh. This temple, it claimed, held the key to containing the Rakshasas. Riya felt a surge of adrenaline. Could this temple still exist? Section 3, The Forbidden Knowledge. The manuscript was more than just a historical account, it was a warning. The rituals used to bind the Rakshasas were powerful, dangerous, forbidden. To tamper with them was to risk unleashing unimaginable horrors. But Riya was too consumed by her discovery to heed the warning. She had to know more. She had to see the temple with her own eyes. She assembled a team of trusted colleagues, archaeologists, historians and adventurers, all eager to make history. They set out into the heart of India, following the clues scattered throughout the ancient text. They were on a quest for knowledge, unaware of the darkness that awaited them, unaware of the price they might have to pay. The journey was arduous. Days turned into weeks. The team trekked through dense jungles. Each step took them deeper into the heart of India. The manuscript was their guide. Its faded ink pointed the way. Riya could feel the excitement building with each passing mile. The air grew heavy with humidity. The sun beat down mercilessly. Still they pressed on, their determination fueled by the promise of discovery. They were explorers, adventurers, pioneers, driven by a thirst for knowledge that knew no bounds. They were about to step into a world untouched by time. The jungle was alive with sound, the chatter of insects, the calls of exotic birds. But there was something else too, a faint whisper on the wind, ancient whispers, stories carried on the breeze, tales of a time when gods walked the earth. and demons haunted the night. The team stumbled upon ruins, swallowed by the jungle, remnants of a lost civilization, a forgotten chapter of history. Ria felt a shiver run down her spine. These ruins whispered of a time when magic was real, a time when the Rakshasas roamed free. She could almost feel their presence, lurking in the shadows. Section 3. The Temple in the Trees. As dusk approached, they found it. The hidden temple, just as the manuscript described. It stood at the end of an overgrown path, its stone walls consumed by vines. A sense of foreboding washed over the team. The air grew cold. The jungle fell silent. Even the insects seemed to hold their breath. Ria's heart pounded in her chest. This was it, the moment of truth. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. Her team followed close behind, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. They were about to cross a threshold into a realm of darkness and ancient secrets. There was no turning back. Section 4. An uneasy feeling. The temple entrance was choked with vines, a dark maw that seemed to swallow the light. Ria drew her machete and hacked her way through. Each swing of the blade sent a shower of dust and insects into the air. She felt a prickle of unease, as if she were being watched. The interior of the temple was dark and oppressive. The air was thick with the smell of decay and something else, something ancient and evil. Ria felt a cold hand grip her heart. She pushed the feeling aside. This was no time for fear. She had come too far. She had to see this through, no matter the cost. Section 1. Walls of Stone and Shadow. The team moved deeper into the temple. Each step echoed in the oppressive silence. Their flashlights cut through the gloom, revealing glimpses of the temple's former glory. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of a bygone era. Ria ran her hand over the cold stone, tracing the outlines of the figures. They were exquisite, full of life and movement. But there was a darkness to them too, a sense of menace that sent shivers down her spine. The carvings told a story of a desperate struggle between good and evil. The air grew colder as they descended deeper. The silence was broken only by their own footsteps and the sound of their own breathing. Ria felt a presence watching them. She turned, shining her flashlight into the shadows, but there was nothing there. "Did you hear that?" whispered Amit, one of her colleagues. His voice trembled. Ria shook her head. "Hear what?" A whisper, like something is talking. Amit's eyes darted around nervously. Ria tried to reassure him. "It's just the wind," but even she could feel it, a sense of unease, as if they were not alone. Finally, they reached it. The inner sanctum, the heart of the temple. The air here was thick with anticipation and dread. In the center of the chamber stood an altar covered in dust and cobwebs. Ria approached it slowly, her heart pounding in her chest. She brushed away the dust with trembling hands, revealing a symbol etched into the stone. The same symbol from the manuscript, the binding seal, the key to containing the Rakshasas. Ria stared at it, mesmerized. She had found it, but at what cost? "This is it," Ria whispered. Her voice was filled with awe and a touch of fear. "This is where they imprisoned them." She pointed to the symbol. "This seal, it holds them captive." The others stared at her, their faces pale. "We should leave," said Priya, another colleague. "This place is cursed." But Ria was too far gone, consumed by her discovery. She had to know more. She had to see it with her own eyes. "No," she said, "I can feel it. They're still here, trapped beneath the earth." She reached out and touched the symbol. A jolt of energy surged through her, and a cold voice whispered in her ear, "Let us in." The voice was faint, a mere whisper, but it sent chills down Ria's spine. She drew back her hand as if burned. What was that? Amit's voice was tight with fear. Rhea shook her head, trying to regain her composure. Nothing. It was nothing. She knew what she had to do. The manuscript had hinted at a ritual, a way to amplify the seal, to strengthen the prison holding the Rakshasas. But deep down, a part of her knew it was more than that. It was a way to commune with the ancient beings, to see them with her own eyes. Rhea opened the manuscript. Her fingers traced the ancient words. The ritual was complex, dangerous, but she was determined. She gathered her team around the altar, their faces a mixture of fear and awe. They were about to tamper with forces beyond their comprehension. "Repeat after me," she instructed. Her voice was steady, but her heart pounded in her chest. The words of the ritual were ancient Sanskrit, powerful, forbidden. As they chanted, the air grew heavy, the temperature dropped, the shadows in the temple seemed to twist and writhe. The ground began to tremble. A low rumble echoed through the chamber. Dust rained down from the ceiling. Rhea's pulse quickened. This was it, the moment of truth. The symbol on the altar began to glow, a faint ethereal light. It pulsed with an energy that sent shivers down her spine. "It's working," she whispered. Her voice was barely audible above the rumble. But even as she spoke, a sense of dread washed over her. The glow intensified. The rumble became a roar. The ground beneath their feet buckled. Cracks appeared in the stone floor. "What have we done?" Priya cried. Her voice was shrill with panic. The others echoed her sentiment, their faces pale with terror. But Rhea was beyond fear. She was caught in the grip of something ancient and powerful, something that had been lying dormant for centuries, and now it was awake. A blood-curdling scream tore through the chamber. It came from Amit. He stumbled back from the altar, his eyes wide with horror, clawing at his chest. "Something's got me!" he shrieked. Rhea watched in horror as shadows enveloped him. Tendrils of darkness that wrapped around his limbs, dragging him towards the altar. Before anyone could react, Amit was gone, vanished into the depths of the altar, swallowed whole by the shadows. His scream echoed in the chamber, a chilling reminder of the power they had unleashed. Panic erupted, the team scattered, their screams echoing through the temple. Rhea stood frozen, her blood ran cold. She had made a terrible mistake. She had unleashed something evil, something that hungered. The shadows swirled around the altar, growing in size and intensity, taking on grotesque shapes, claws, teeth, glowing eyes. The Rakshasas had been unleashed. They rose from the depths, their forms shifting and changing. A nightmarish kaleidoscope of horror. They moved with unnatural speed, their eyes burning with a malevolent hunger. Their laughter echoed through the chamber, a cacophony of madness and despair. The team was easy prey. They scattered through the temple, their screams echoing through the ancient halls, but there was nowhere to run. The Rakshasas were everywhere. Their claws ripped and tore, their teeth sank into flesh. The air reeked of blood and terror. The temple, once a place of worship, became a tomb. Its silence was now filled with the echoes of agony and the chilling laughter of the freed Rakshasas. Rhea's ambition, her thirst for knowledge, had paved the way for this carnage. The manuscript's warnings, once dismissed as mere superstition, now rang true in the cries of her dying colleagues. She had sought to unveil the past, but in doing so she had unleashed a horror that the Guptas had desperately sought to contain. The world outside remained oblivious, blind to the darkness that had been reborn within the temple's depths. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, malevolent shadows across the land, a chilling reminder of the ancient terrors that lurked just beneath the surface of the world. The ancient knowledge, meant to be respected and guarded, had become a weapon in the wrong hands. Rhea Mehta, the once brilliant archaeologist, was gone, consumed by the very shadows she had sought to control. The temple stood as a grim monument to her folly, a stark warning etched into its very stones. Some secrets are best left buried.